Everything is crashing, but I think there's going to be some opportunities here. We have an incredible guest that's coming on here in just a moment. So while we're getting this going, everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. We got Drew from Blockchain Basement here in just a moment. Let me get this posted because we are live on X. We are live on YouTube, and we are live in your hearts, bringing you that good crypto content. So you know what? I don't want to do a long intro today. I want to dive right on into it. So let's get it. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. We got some price action spilling around in the markets right now. If we zoom in on this Bitcoin chart, oh my God, it's over. We're having a crash on the 2-minute chart. But when we zoom back out and look at this macro, we're just sitting here right in the middle of the trend. So I'm not going to go on a whole long spiel. We got an incredible guest today. So I'm going to throw it right to the most based individual in the damn ecosystem.
Whoa,
my friend, Mr. Drew. How you doing?
dude, I'm loving this, honestly, man. Like, at the start of the week when I saw, we were definitely feeling the pullback for Bitcoin. But you reminded me of something I am actively doing. Like, I took tons of profits in April and March. Now the prices have reset in a big way for some of my favorite projects. Obviously, Bitcoin taking a nice haircut, leading the charge when it comes to delivering that pain for us. But yeah, man, I'm pretty damn excited, honestly, that I have a few months more of good prices, good entry points to really pad out the bag that I already have. I took about 50% of my entire portfolio off of the market back in March and April, and that hurt at the time. It was a lot of money that I made, but I was like, man, what if it just keeps going up to the moon? But I see the 5Xs, I see the 10Xs, I had to pay myself, and now here we are. Price reset time, and this is the volatility we really, really need for that violent move back up to the upside, somewhere in the 70K range, man. I'm feeling good about it. Kelly, you've been doing some great calls on the charts. Where do you think we are headed? Because the weekend, I'm terrified of the weekend. Usually Sundays, we've been having these massive drops on Bitcoin. I'm not going to be keeping any trades open right now. But what are your thoughts? I was listening to a little bit about what you're talking about on, Bitcoin in terms of relevance to the election cycle. I'm a time frame guy for Bitcoin 4-year cycle. It lines right up with the election. What do you think is going to be happening first this weekend, man? I'm kind of focused on the charts this weekend because I'm using this range mode to really try to put my trader hat on. I'm usually just spot buying and adding to the spot bag. But now that we're trapped in this channel, I feel like popping my head out of the ground and starting my hand on just, scalp trade and day trade type activity.
I agree with you on all accounts. We've got the halving cycle. Some people stand by. We have the global liquidity cycle. They say that's the thing, not the halving. But then we also have this election cycle, and all of them are lining up, perfectly. And we're still here within this 140 or 141 days post halving. We're still, under that 160, 170 day mark I've been talking about since April 19th. And that would put us at the end of April. It's almost like this is perfectly situated to where this sort of chop solidation wreck your mom if you're not sitting here, if you're not trading with strategy. It's all of September. This was telling us ahead of time. And when we look at that chart I was sharing before, Quentin shared this. This is the last two cycles basically overlined with each other, and where we're at right now in relationship also to what's happening on that big day in November. And look, this also is its own sort of, wow, this is where the market, it's almost like the uncertainty mounts into it. And then it doesn't matter which direction it goes in some regards, because once you get clarity, and I think it's Kevin Svensson says it best when we're talking about even the correlation with traditional markets. It's not having one impactful thing or the other. It's just clarity. When there's uncertainty, people de-risk. When there's certainty or clarity, things move up. So I just think everything that's happening right now, I'd welcome. Would it be frustrating? Sure. But I would welcome Bitcoin down here testing this $50,000 mark, even down to 45,000. Would it hurt? Would it suck? Sure. But it also, we're among the last time in the history of Bitcoin that price is going to be giving us these opportunities.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that, man. And, really, it's something that I feel like is kind of nuanced going on right now is we're valuing Bitcoin in dollars, and the dollar is dying, right, at a kind of a fast, a quickened pace, should I say. And really, I felt very spoiled when we were touching around $73,000 per Bitcoin before the halving even happened. It should have never happened in our past. We had that regulatory clarity come through. All these ETF fund managers started hammering into it. And we got to that euphoric peak you're pointing to on the chart. And this price reset actually has given me a lot of confluence with just continuing to use not only the 4-year cycle, but the Pi cycle top indicator as my exit strategy analysis. I basically feel more comfortable seeing the Pi cycle top indicator giving more room and breadth to the upside. It was getting to a point where, at this point that we're at right now, every time that the blue and the yellow line had intersected in the past, that marked the exact peak of Bitcoin's price. And in the recent few months, with the price pullback, now we have a little bit more room in between those two metrics that, in my opinion, is giving me more time to accumulate crypto projects at a cheap price before we have that explosive time frame come in 2025. I feel very, very convicted that we're going to have an explosive move to the upside for Bitcoin and crypto at large in 2025. For anyone that wasn't around last cycle, I would drive to Costco, and the drive to Costco, I would make $5,000 in upside just
Yeah,
from the spot holdings, not
yeah.
trading, not leverage or any of that stuff, just buying projects when there is immense blood and pain all over the place and the max fear is there. That's how I changed my life last cycle. And honestly, this last cycle, I have the baseline rule because I move into the projects with some force and size. I back up the truck when the pain is there, and when I have that 3x, takes them off the table. But I leave enough to have a good amount to take off if I hit a 5x. Once I hit that 5x, I'm taking everything but about 20%, maybe 15-20% of that bag off the table and leave just a little moon back in case it is the next Ethereum and the whole cycle process is broken and we're in this super cycle. Fine, I'll leave a little bit on the table, but at large, that protected my value in a very, very big way, just remaining stoic about it and having my own personal goals about how much money I need to improve my property or what kind of vehicle I need to purchase because I have a bunch of children and, I keep having to upgrade the vehicles to handle the family. So, and now I have my next set of goals. I have my eyes on a particular size of property. I have a particular plan with the property I have now to turn it into a rental and turn that into a cash flowing business into the bear market. And the bear market, I think, will come again. I think that we're going to jackknife up to the hundreds, maybe even, near 200K per Bitcoin. But in my opinion, I think we're going to fall right back down to $60,000 when the bear market does rear its ugly head. So I'm prepared for that, and I can't live in a Bitcoin. So I sell it and I go live in a house instead. So
Well,
that's what I'm about.
BTC newbie here in the chat says, based on what you just said, he said, "I'll drive to Costco right now." You want that 5K? You know what? That's coming. And right now, everybody, I want everybody to realize this might be frustrating, especially if you're new.
Mm-hmm.
If you got in any time, especially since 74,000, well, you
Mm-hmm.
bought a top. Live with it.
Mm-hmm.
Either cut your losses and leave the market and then leave the best opportunity ever, or find ways to lower your average entry. And one of the things I want to say
Mm-hmm.
to you, Drew, is and everybody watching is, Drew, you do one of the best jobs of one. Blockchain Basement is such a phenomenal show, but also in terms of how you navigate the crypto market, buying an avalanche, just throwing it in at $10 and then taking huge profits when it was, I
Mm-hmm.
don't even remember what it went up to. It went up to what, to 40
Yeah,
something?
I exited at $52 a token, on Avalanche. ICP was another good one. I bought it for 325 a unit and got out of it at 1650. And when you have those kind of gains, and you see everyone on X taking screenshots and bragging to each other, and their next meme coin is the future of finance all of a sudden, and you're having this FOMO about all these different projects that are just mooning, that is my indicator to get the hell out of harm's way. Because we get those explosive time frames on a pretty cyclical basis in crypto, and the adoption of crypto at large is still outpacing the internet. And luckily for people that did buy 74, good news is you're still early at large into the implementation of the technology into humanity as we see it. But you are now in the bubble with a bunch of crypto people that are focused on crypto at the right time, that are sitting here just second guessing themselves. And this kind of chop is the same kind of chop that made many, many popular crypto people capitulate in October, September of 2020, right? We had flu season going on. We had Goldman Sachs saying, save your money, keep your head low, be prepared. This is the new normal. Stay in your home. And a lot of people took that advice and absolutely got wrecked. Since then, the dollar
And
has
by the way,
lost.
I have this on the chart to show you what he's talking about, because I do remember this. A lot of people got very
Mm-hmm.
worried on this little Bart Simpson pattern. This
Yes.
is September, October. Can you imagine getting out at 10,000
Oh my God.
only to immediately see it go from
It was
10,000?
it was all over
I
the
mean, that's
place. It
a
was all over
a
the place.
dude, that's ridiculous.
It was all over the place. And the influencers caught on. They're like, oh wait, I was wrong. And the ones that had integrity, which are a few, acknowledged that they were wrong, and they found, I remember that little shelf that it recaptured at around $16,000-17,000. That's where their conviction came back in. Right there, yeah, that
Oh,
little
right when
boy
it
right
you're
there.
talking about right when it was chopping. Where's
Yes,
that? Sorry, right here, right at the
yes.
previous all-time high. It's
Yes,
like,
exactly. And that's a very basic volume area that you can see if you just back up and look at this thing, forest through the trees, and practice patience and be stubborn about things. You can really change your life with those types of movements. And the funny part about this trend line, Kelly, is that I had drawn just a basic line across the previous all-time high, hitting that volume and going all the way to our current situation. Um, I rehammered into the market on that $17,000 FTX dip right there, and we did go below. We went down to like 15,000, but that basic line was a very simple thing that I had left up on my trading view, and that was my back up the truck moment. That's when I sold everything that I had laying around that I didn't need. I used all the money that I'd saved and bought thousands of dollars more worth of crypto, and things turn out really, really good for me when I do handle things that way. It's when I am FOMOing in or trying to chase some gigantic green handle. That's how I have gotten wrecked. And I'm not perfect. I tried to find, because I was covering this one project, Maple Finance, on the blockchain basement. A lot of people got in at like $2 or something like that. And I was still covering it and following it, but we were in that kind of hyper cycle moment where we were thinking the cycle's broken and all this stuff. Maple, I got out at around $15. I've kind of stopped tracking it price wise. Where is it at right now?
1458.
There we go. So this is one that I bought at $18, and I got out at around like 15. So it's right back to where it was. But I didn't make money off of this one, and this is a lesson I learned or recodified. Even with being in crypto for 5 years, we get caught up in the narrative, and we have moments of weakness and things of that nature. And I just want to reestablish that with everyone out there. Like, we're gonna see massive amounts of FOMO coming in after this election is done for, and after the fear mongering is done for, and they put people back to work for a bit. I think that the markets are going to move regardless of all of this stuff going on at the polls. And really, I am just very, very keen on remaining stoic on those types of situations. And that Maple play, I will preface it that when I'm getting into small market caps like Maple, it's not even a percent of the portfolio. It's a toe in the water. You see how that initial entry goes. ICP and AVAX, they're much different because they're much bigger projects. Chainlink makes up a vast majority of my portfolio, and my overall buying entry point on Chainlink is around like $4 right now. The original buys are at $1.80 back in flu season, but we don't have those opportunities anymore. Chainlink is sitting here at a very opportune moment, I feel like, and a little bit more of a haircut would get us to the top of its consolidation channel, which I do have pretty strong conviction that the top of that consolidation channel is going to hold should we find our way there. But Chainlink, it's one of the projects I really feel like is eating the ISO narratives lunch. I think that RWAs and data aggregation systems to help TradFi actually implement crypto are the first step before, I kind of actually in general doubt that we're ever going to have a private crypto project acting as a CBDC or the actual vehicle of movement for money across the world. I very much doubt that for a litany of different reasons. But, the data aggregation of markets at large and the smoothing out of the existing system and finding ways to improve the current system, in my opinion, are the more logical approach to find things with massive upside.
I mean, I agree. So, I mean, on that note, would you say that I'm guess you're very bullish on the RWA narrative this cycle? Is this something that
Mm.
you think is going to have a pretty major impact in the crypto market in terms of starting to bridge that gap of realistic integrations of TradFi and use case real world side of things, or do you think it's going to kind of run in contention with AI, or can they both run in their own races?
So I think that this data aggregation move that's happening right now with oracles and with RWA representation is metaphorically like the roadways of infrastructure being built out. I don't think that the RWA sector hitting the $15 trillion market cap that these bank fund managers are talking about is going to come until right around 2028. But I think that the upside to the speculation within those projects is going to compete with AI's upside. And on AI, there's some great things that I've been finding upside with. ICP is slightly in the AI conversation, but it's more of a Web3 landscape. Near is another one that I really like. BitTensor Tau. There's a slew of different projects I like. I do hold a decent amount of Near. Um, and another thing that just on the, I don't want to go too fast here, but we're looking at Near right now. My, you know, my original entry points on Near somewhere around $2, and this is one that I've just continually added because it only makes up like 1 or 2% of my portfolio. So I'm trying to get it up to those AVAX or ICP hold levels with my DCA and in the season that we're in with this chop, I mean, I am happy for cheaper Near. I'm happy to see cheaper Aerodrome coming by. I think another competitive sector we're kind of discounting right now is Binance and BNB. We have CZ getting let out this month at the end of the month, and BNB is still a behemoth as an exchange across the world. It's a worldwide exchange, and it is looking at. I'm honestly very
Dude,
tantalized by this
I didn't
entry
even
point.
notice this.
Yeah.
Ethereum and most of the alts, we can see it. We can see it on this chart. The total three. This
Hmm.
got nowhere near previous all-time high.
Right.
Ethereum also. This looks near, but look at this. This is still 20% down when it got
Hmm.
to its peak. Binance coin BNB basically came up and broke previous all-time high,
Yep.
showing that's a lot of relative strength when you consider its performance comparatively with a lot of other alts. That's a signal.
What? And it was facing all of the FUD of the Department of Justice taking aim at its CEO and imprisoning him. Okay, it went through all of that FUD and still outperformed Ethereum and basically every other alt out there. I am watching for. Honestly, I feel good about just building a small bag of BNB at these levels. Probably start with like 1 to 2% of my portfolio, but that's on my DCA list as well. because I think that the world at large is discounting BNB. I think that base chain, Coinbase's blockchain that they're rolling out, is being overlooked in a big, big way. Even regardless of the upside it's already experienced, I think the fact that we see Coinbase custodying levels of Bitcoin that are competing with Satoshi's original wallet is something we should take very, very seriously. And with that, I think that BNB, base chain, AI, and RWAs, those are the plays that I feel like have the best upside for this bull market, man.
You
It's,
know
I
what I
don't,
haven't looked at in some time, and I'm
what's
still
that?
holding the bag is Swarm. So, man, I might have to do some DCA into Swarm because I can't even remember what my entry was, but it was it's probably somewhere over here. I would guess 49
Mhm.
cents or something like that. So, and
Mhm.
I believe in RWAs heavily, and Swarm is one of those altcoins that has some licensing that a lot of RWA plays don't yet have,
Mhm.
which is pretty good. And the fact that this is down so far, it doesn't make me mad that it's down. It makes me go, wait, you're telling me I can get SMT at 27 cents? I
Right,
bought it at 49. This is okay, great. Let's do it. Now I can buy twice as much for half as
right.
much.
And that mentality works if we're looking at the right narrative in the right season, right? The same mentality I wouldn't recommend for meme coins that have, because there's many meme coins that have died and will never research. Honestly, you guys, like many, many meme coins that I've been watching people shill on X, and they just are convicted to the. I have friends that have lost $150,000 on an obscure meme coin with $1 million market cap. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. People are out there trying to get lucky at the fair, and some of these meme coins are absolute wrecking fields. So I've seen and experienced a lot of friends go in there and really lose their hat and their pants. And we just have to exercise a strong degree of caution and responsibility when looking at meme coins. And yeah, I've gotten lucky on a few of them, like Trump token, we were about when he was like $2 million market cap, and obviously that thing's done what it's done. Um, but my original entry was very, very minimal as far as the dollar amount. It was just a small dollar play on a chaotic meme coin that was representing the orange one, and it turned out great, fine. You know what I mean? But at large, I think the real upside and the real power that I'm going to experience is from dollar cost averaging into strong narrative uh, projects that have either a new focus into what the current narrative is, or they're releasing into this currently bullish environment. Because we see many, many tokens that, like for instance, Stellar Lumens has all the talking points in the world. It's even part of the RWA sector. It has all of these things going for it, but it's heavily tied to the ISO narrative, and it moves with XRP. This thing, I doubt if it's even, what is this thing at? Like 9 cents or
Yeah,
something
eight
like
eight
that?
eight eight.
Eight
Yeah.
cents, 8.8 cents. This is years. This
This
is
is
years
this is
of pain.
this is stellar overlaid with XRP. Look at how
Yeah.
almost exact these two charts are.
Yeah, it's just, and there's a lot, and another thing about it is there's so much content about it that people that are new to crypto, they're going to hop onto YouTube, and there's going to be 10,000 videos about Stellar and 10,000 videos about XRP, and that's the new digital framework for the economy, right? I just highly doubt it. I highly doubt it that Stellar or XRP are going to ever accomplish their all-time highs. It is honestly, in my opinion,
Well,
a
you
dead
know what? I
narrative.
mean, it was a great litmus test. Well, I can't remember the date, but I think it was July last year when that first news about the end of the judge rule, and we had this massive impulse, and it
Mm-hmm.
could not even break past this previous range high. It came right
Yeah,
back down, and has since lost the zone and now got rejected at it with the actual conclusion of this.
right.
Everybody was saying when it's concluded, it's going to go far, and what has it done?
Mm-hmm.
It's done nothing.
Absolutely. And you know what? If you are maxi about Ripple, Ripple stock is going to be amazing. I think the Ripple stock and the technology of Ripple, fantastic. And it's going to find use case. It is being used by Fed now, right now. So
Well,
Ripple is
I want
the
to pause
dark
you for a
horse in that.
second because you just said something. I don't think a lot of people don't understand this. Um, these different the utility of the majority, if not every alt crypto out there is not their utility is not tied to the price action,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, for instance, Cardano is phenomenal, right? It's a great decentralized project, but the fact that the price goes up or down, or XRP, you just made a great point. If XRP doesn't just go up and make you rich because you invested in it, doesn't actually take away from its actual utility and what it's doing. Everybody thinks that it's a
Mm-hmm.
better project if price is going up. That's just a speculative demand driving price up. It
Mm-hmm.
has nothing to do with utility. Now, it could
Mm-hmm.
also create liquidity for them to develop, to spend in developing their business and such. But we have to realize that every one of us is a venture capitalist, essentially. We're in here
Mm-hmm.
investing in a technology, hoping that the utility and adoption comes. And we also are expecting other people are going to come in and demand, which is going to send price up. But then that
Mm-hmm.
also begs a question and I don't want to say the name, but there's quite a few different crypto out there right now that people are looking at the last cycle and they're not ever looking at the market cap versus the price action. And they're saying
Right.
this is going to break previous all-time high. And then you're like, the
Right.
market cap's already broken the previous all-time high. How is it going to do that? Now, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of these altcoins are going to see gains, but I think a lot of people are going to be shocked and that there's going to be a majority that aren't going to see anywhere near the gains that they're expecting because of that token inflation, unlocks. There's a lot going on there.
Well, and on that note, specifically talking about XRP, because this is the easiest way to explain it, is XRP. I'll just do some quick re-navigating here. In order to accomplish its previous all-time high, or even just to hit $3, it needs a $200 billion market cap. So XRP will need to surpass by a long shot its previous all-time high market cap in 2017 to accomplish a $3 per token level. And if it does accomplish a $3 per token level, that's what is that, like a what is that, 6x or something like that? Fine, amazing. But that is a moonshot thought that it hits a $200 billion market cap. I think that a lot of the coins that make up the top 10 in crypto during this coming bull market blow off top are going to have to breach that $200 billion level or more in market cap to be in that club. So I'm trying to give them a lot of credence, and this is, like, in my opinion, the most bullish scenario for XRP is that it makes it in hold, like makes it in, is it in the top 10 still? If it holds its spot in the top 10, I think it is in the top 10 still.
Yeah, it's number 7.
Yeah, so if it can hold this spot and get above $200 billion of market cap, sure, you could hit $3. But the conversations and the content being made about a $30 XRP, let's just do some back of the napkin math here, folks. You would have to hit a $2 trillion market cap to accomplish a $30 XRP token. $2 trillion. Okay, so we have to take that into account when we're doing this. We're taking in information from a bunch of different sources, and honestly, that's healthy. If you have some XRP Max you listen to, fine, sure. But be realistic about the market cap expectations. I do not think that XRP, the token itself, is ever going to hit a $2 trillion market cap. I will be very surprised and happy for people that are holding it if it accomplishes a $200 billion market cap and even holds its position.
I gotta
Yeah.
ask you, and I don't want to take this politically, but you can't help but do it when we're talking about XRP.
Oh, I knew you would go there.
I mean, I again, I'm not even going to take sides here, but just from a tactic point of view, like, I don't understand. It doesn't make these two. It doesn't make sense. Like with
Yeah.
Chris Larson and David Schwartz, and what's going on there?
It's insanity. It's insanity.
They're betting against themselves.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they are on that side. Maybe they always have been on that side. And maybe what David Schwartz has said about his attacks against the orange one, maybe that's actually how they all feel. You know what I mean? Because David Schwartz has already made it clear which side he's on. And so Chris Larson coming out, lining up with the hyena, not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. And honestly, I won't be surprised if Brad Garlinghouse does the same thing. And these are the same organization that tried to release a hit campaign against Bitcoin in their funding of, what was it, Greenpeace or something like that, with that skull. They were trying to say that proof of work is the end of humanity, and Bitcoin is helping destroy humanity and cause the apocalypse. These are the extremist, alarmist narratives that I fight back against every single day. And I am so glad that because I've been researching XRP for 6 years. I have more knowledge about this token and the actual use case of Ripple and Volante and all the things with Fed now than 99% of the people out there. And really, their hit piece against proof of work systems is not only foolish, but it is detrimental to the entire cryptocurrency space. You're trying to literally destroy the ground of which you walk upon if you're trying to take aim at proof of work systems in Bitcoin. It's absolute insanity. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of my spiel, and I don't want to rant too much about it, but I feel like I'm trying to help friends when I'm saying these things, because everyone in cryptocurrency, I try to consider my friend until I'm verifiably proven otherwise. You're out here, you're buying the best projects that you think, and I think that's cool. I like that you're in cryptocurrency. I think that you see the value of the dollar falling off a cliff and you're looking in the right direction. But my friends, please, please be logical about this. Be logical about your expectations, because there is no planet that I think we live on currently or out there in the solar system where XRP is ever going to breach $2 trillion. I'll be lucky or happy to see it breach 200 billion. And really, I think the top 10 in crypto are going to have to breach that $200 billion market cap. I got a question for you, though, Kelly.
Shoot.
So, at the top of this market, previously we hit just under $3 trillion market cap. With the velocity of ETFs being in place, with the velocity of RWAs being talked about, what is the top that you think the market cap will make it to in this bull market season?
Well, that's a tall question you asked there, but let's just do some basic algebra here.
Mm,
Use our good friend Fibonacci. Just on a basic Fibonacci level, I would say, I mean, this is not going to be accurate. This is pure speculation. But we came
mm,
up to the 3.618 here, rejected, and then we went up kind of right in the middle between 3.618, 4.618. So let's say we only get, let's even just do 2.618. The
mm,
2.618 is $4.8 trillion. No, what's a 1.786? The 2.618 is 6.7 trillion. If we go anywhere near, like we saw the 3.618, that's just shy of $9 trillion. Now, do
mm.
I think we can hit that? I do. I think it's much more likely that we're going to, I don't think we're going to get the same sort of explosive move. In fact, again, 3.618 isn't even the top, but I think I would say somewhere between 5 to 6 trillion is a pretty respectable level that we can look forward to come in. And that's going to be represented with a lot of these top coins doing very well. I think
Yeah.
BNB is going to have as you pointed out, is going to do well. I think RWAs are going to do incredible. I think the RWA space is going to bring in, I'm talking hundreds of billions of dollars. And so
Yeah.
considering that, and then also AI, I think we do have a pretty good case for some really explosive moves. And I think some people's hearts are going to be broken. I
Hmm.
can't remember who said it, but I was talking about, I was watching somebody talk about the other day, these people, there's almost like cult-like behavior with certain coins because
Yeah.
you got in, you've held it for a while. Okay, you rode the wave, great. That doesn't mean it's going to be your top performer.
Yep.
I think Cardano's great. I don't think it's going to be the thing that's going to be the outperformer in your portfolio. Will it perform well? Sure. I don't think it's going to outperform something like FET or Render or
Yeah.
other plays like Ondo or Chainlink. Right? Chainlink is, I think I can't believe Chainlink is not in the top 10. I mean, it blows my mind that it's down here at number 16 and the price is $9.67 and it has such an incredible use case because it's not defined by a use case. It's bridging the Web 2 world into Web 3. It's also doing RWAs. It's also setting the standard for a lot of with the CCIP, with the chain transactions and interoperability. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of great plays in this market going in, and I think it's about diversification. But also, I think some people over diversify. If you have $1,000 and you have 40 coins,
There's an
it's
issue
like,
there.
what are you doing? You're just
There's an
trying to
issue there.
participate. I get it.
Yeah.
Find 4 or 5
I
coins you really
completely love
like. If
that.
you got $1,000, if you got 10,000, okay, maybe you have 5 or 6 you're mostly allocated into, maybe 10,
Hmm.
but then maybe you have 15 or 20 tiny coins, but it's under 3% of your portfolio. That makes sense. But the fact that
Hmm.
people spread $10 into 100 coins, it's like you're not doing yourself any favor.
Yeah. And your market cap pop to the top, just view is actually giving me confidence. As I'm saying 6 trill. I'm saying 6 trill. And that wasn't using a Fibonacci or anything like that. That was just the accounting for diminished returns, but then trying to accumulate and really figure out how far these ETFs can push us just in this current first bull market of having institutional adoption. And we have to be wary because there are going to be calls for $1 million Bitcoin this cycle. And I think that is dead wrong. I do not think that we're going to have a $20 trillion market cap on Bitcoin in and of itself this cycle. And that's what it would have to accomplish. And Chainlink,
Hey,
you know,
what's the website? I always forget. What's the website that you use where you basically speculate on the price and what
oh,
that would mean?
yeah, Coin Perspective. And on Coin Perspective, I am always going over and above what the supply actually will be just to give some reason. Because if you leave the supply alone and don't account for token inflation, then you're going to end up with moon math that literally makes no sense, and it will get you completely off track here. So if you go there, let's pull up Chainlink, for instance. Let's say that Chainlink makes its way back into the top 10, and the top 10 is made up of 200 billion on up. Go to show more controls, right down there, just under there. Go lower, lower, right there. And then this is where you can adjust the inflation. So Chainlink will have around 750 million tokens circulating at the time. So you got to push that circulating supply up to 750.
Let's go to 800. Let's
Sure,
yeah.
sure. And then we'll go to a $200 billion market cap on the next one up. So you just adjust the next dot up and go to 200 bill. And that'll give you a rough estimate. You're being generous on the supply so that you're not doing insane moon math. And let's just say that it holds that or gets back into the top 10, and that top 10 is made up of 200 billion and on up. That brings it above $200 a token. You know what I mean? And so that is
So
where,
again, everybody, the reason why that's important, because a lot of people don't understand that, is because currently the market cap's $5 billion right now, just shy of
mm-hmm,
6. So when people
mm-hmm,
say Chainlink's gonna hit 300 this cycle, okay, well a $300 Chainlink, what would that be? That would be a $250 billion market cap. That's
yeah,
that's a
yeah,
pretty that's a pretty aggressive expectation.
yeah,
Now, do I think it can hit? Do I think I can hit, like, for instance, 132, 100 billion? I think that's pretty doable. But
mm-hmm,
also we also, as exciting as it is, we come back over to Coin Market Cap and you realize Ethereum's only 275 billion
right,
as it is, right? So there's
100%.
a lot of, if Chainlink's hitting 200 billion, what's Ethereum at? Is it breaking that trillion mark? Is it going to 1.5? What's Bitcoin at, right? All
Yeah,
this stuff,
Ethereum, man.
liquidity
Let's talk on
liquidity is
Ethereum.
needed to get it there. So we have to ask where the liquidity is coming from.
Yeah, I want to talk about Ethereum because, we have a basic situation where these layer twos, they've hurt its token usage. And yes, it's deflationary to a degree when it's being used heavily, but if they're able to find routes around it, not so much. But it is one of the most rock solid blockchain systems on the planet. It is a rock solid world computer that's still in operation. And a lot of these asset managers are building their plans for RWAs around items that operate off of Ethereum. So, with Ethereum in that situation, I actually don't discount that Ethereum could hit $1 trillion market cap this cycle. I think it'll get close to it, and that would bring it to around 7,000, maybe $8,000 per token, right? So
Well,
we have to keep that
I
into
will
account.
say I did see this yesterday. I forgot to share it with everybody. This is from High Block. It says we could see a strong order book imbalance of 70% on ETH at 1 to 2% depth. Previously, when there was a 70% bid imbalance, price marked the bottom and started
Mm-hmm.
trending up. We're starting to see the same thing here
Mm-hmm.
forming that we saw here before this rally that we had in this zone. So do I think we're going to rally immediately? No, I actually think we still probably have a little bit more downside. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but when we're looking at Ethereum, I'm glad you brought it up. Ethereum to Bitcoin has been trending down in
Mm-hmm.
just this tiny channel since September 2022. And we're just now coming down to this line of support, which goes all the way back here to February 2020. Do you think we're going to start getting at some point in the near future a bit of a rebound on the ETH to Bitcoin sort of valuation, or is Bitcoin going to continue to leave it in the dust because all the institutional money?
I think the beatings will continue till mid November on altcoins. I think that's what's going to happen, just like the 4 year cycle and the Bitcoin dominance graph shows. Historically, for me, it's done it time and time again. The second halving, it took 231 days from that halving till we saw Bitcoin dominance fall off a cliff. Third halving, same thing. 231 days, Bitcoin dominance falls off a cliff. Going by time scales, I am still operating off of that, and I don't feel like a real altcoin season is going to be noticed and in reality until we get to mid-November. We get past this selection process in the United States. We get, past all the macro problems. And honestly, the macro problems are going to continue. They're going to cook the books all the way through 2025. And I think if they do cook the books all the way through 2025 to make the economy still kick over and to make people go to the polls with hope, I think it's going to cause a cataclysmic pullback on markets, Bitcoin, everything 2026. So I am getting completely out of the market in 2026, see where that cataclysm takes us down to, and then reallocate my positions from there.
Man, there's just so much goodness. I can't even. I think we talked about this a few weeks ago. I'm in a position now in the markets that I've been in long enough that I've ridden the waves. I've been bruised. I've been banged up, and then I realized, oh, the places that I get bruised and banged up the most, where there's actual damage, and meaning like I lose money, or it's when I'm acting emotionally. And I've been in this market
Mm-hmm.
long enough that I'm actually any downside price action right now, because I see the massive amount of just bullish foundation that has been built. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
just I don't want to say it gives me confidence, but I'm excited when price drops now. I'm like, you're telling me I could still take
Yeah.
advantage of this at these prices?
No, it's healthy for the 4 year cycle for this price reset, man. Like we were spoiled. I was saying it all the way through that $60,000 channel we were hanging out in. We should not buy 4 year cycle rights, have experienced that upside before the halving even happened, folks, especially with the size of the market cap it's already at. And we have metrics that are screwing us up. We're valuing crypto in dollars still, and the dollar is failing us, not only on our buying power, but on the statistical analysis of these assets that are literally changing the world right now. They're changing the way that money flows to and from. And freedom of speech is important. The right to Second Amendment is important, but also the way that our dollar moves around and who controls our dollar. I'd argue that is actually more important than speech itself. That is speech in a monetary fashion. And speech in a monetary fashion is the whole reason why governments are instituted in the first place, is to control those faucets. So, Bitcoin is this unstoppable force that's been released out of its cage. It's running open through the prairie, and it is smacked right into the immovable object of governments across the planet. And now they're figuring out a way to congeal and create this blob type situation to move forward together with. So it's a cataclysmic time to be alive, man. I'm
Hey,
pretty
man,
excited about it.
I agree with you too. And pulling up that dollar chart, we're sitting right on the precipice of could be soon. We could get another bounce here, and then could be some more months. But when this does break down, we have seen every time when the dollar, the value of the dollar, the index falls, perfectly. I mean, it's right
Yeah.
when risk is coming back in the market. So we have the
Yes.
4-year cycle, we have the global liquidity, we have the election coming up, and we also have the dollar on the likely breakdown in the near future because there's nothing that they can do. And I think I have it up here somewhere. Let me see. It's right here. This is insane. Interest expense on U.S. federal debt is now a record $3 billion a day. This is the money we have to spend, $3 billion a day just to service our stupid actions. The only thing that they can do, is print money. And that will, see risk come back into the market. But Drew, I don't want to keep you all day because I love you. I appreciate you. I do want to shout out, specifically, make sure every one of you are following Drew right here at Druth Crypto. And then,
Thank
of
you,
course,
man.
he's got a show every day. He puts out content on a regular basis, and he's on YouTube, he's on Rumble, he's on Kick, he's on OnlyFans, Only Crypto, and you can find his info also for the show there at Blockchain Basement. But is there anything else? It's at B Chain Basement is where you find that. Is there anything else you wanted
Yes.
to share before you go? Before we wrap this out?
Yeah, guys, I mean, beyond making money in crypto, the other half of me is how to prepare for cataclysm. Should this system break and the ground of which we walk upon start to erode? So, Blockchain Black Site is where I drop all that information on. You can support the channel, join Blockchain Black Site. That is where we drop the most dangerous of information that gets my channel taken off the internet over and over again. So, we decided to gatekeep it a little bit so we can still stay operational. And we're building a community of like-minded patriots that will stand strong and be leaders for their community should a situation like that arise. Nature abhors a void. You be that leader should that cataclysm come, and you can lead the people back up to the top. So appreciate you having me on the show, brother. Absolutely loved it.
Dude, I appreciate you, man, my friend. I really do, and thank you for being here. Everybody, make sure you give him a follow. Drew, I'll be seeing you a little bit later.
All right, brother. I'll see you
All right,
soon.
all right. Adios, muchacho. Everybody, what a great discussion. Drew's one of my favorite people in this market, but also in the world because he's just such a balanced guy. He takes care of his family. He makes money. He knows how to take money out of the market and impact his life, but also invest. Just what a wonderful guy. I do want to shout out before we go. When you're doing all this, it is about protection. You got to make sure you're protecting yourself. You got to make sure you're protecting your crypto. Make sure you head over to getarculus.com. Get your Arculus today. You can use code LAB10. I will be doing some giveaways next week with a bunch of, I've got quite a few, how do you say Arculus plural? Is it Arculi? I've got several of these I'm going to be giving out next week for those of you that retweet the post there on Twitter when we are live, because we are streaming on Twitter as well as YouTube. And then, of course, remember, we're doing giveaways. We're doing all kind of stuff within that CoinW partnership we have. You can see we have it right here. Still bonuses, all kind of stuff. And also we're doing $1,200 in giveaways. All you have to do is click on that link directly below the video here on YouTube. You can see it right here. Free traders group, boom, click on that link. It will take you into the Telegram. It shows you the link to sign up with. You have to sign up with our link to get access to that Signals Lab where we've got so many good trades going on in there and a $2,000 to $10,000 challenge. For everybody that is a BitLab member, shout out to you. Whether you're on bitlabacademy.com in those, broader courses and the Discord and all that, or if you are a member here on the YouTube, I don't know where my mouse is. We are having a member stream today at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to become a member, you can join here. I don't know where the link is. Let me actually see this real quick. It should be right here. Here it is. Click to join. I think this will work. No, it won't. I'm pulling it up right now. You can join, become a member right here, get access to those member streams and more. But with that, everybody, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream today. I got a bunch of stuff I got to take care of. We will do the member stream later on. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Make sure you head over to DGen Alpha, which is going to be starting here in about 10 minutes. I will forward all of you there because He's a friend of the channel. DGen Alpha, boom, Extreme Fear. Let's get it. Let's talk about it. Let's make sure we're not getting chopped out. This weekend, we'll probably see some volatility. Allow those gaps to form. Take the shots where you will. Understand your time horizon. That's all I got for you today, everybody. I love you. I appreciate you. Granny's Garden, Bad Fox, Tater in the house, Bluff City Breaks, super chat I see we got as well. Bluff City Breaks says, I can't read it. Heads up, Moonwell is being listed on Coinbase. Don't know what Moonwell is, but thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend. That's all I got. Adios, muchachos.